Hello, today we're going to make an ornament using a size 5 hook. We're going to start by forming a circle. So make a slip knot, chain 4. Now we're going to create a circle by doing a slip stitch through the first chain that we made. So the chain closest to the slip knot, we're going to make a circle. Now we're going to chain 2. This chain 2 will count as 1 double crochet, and we're going to crochet 11 double crochets into the center of the circle that we made. So there will be a total of 12, counting that first chain 2 as 1 double crochet. So 11 double crochets into the center of the circle. Once you've finished the final double crochet and have a total of 11 in the circle plus the first chain 2 that you made, you're going to do a slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. So find the top of that chain and do a slip stitch through it, and then pull the yarn through and cut. So now we've made the center of our piece, and we're going to do a color change. So we're going to choose one of the spaces in between the double crochets, and it's best not to work where you just cut the yarn. So choose a space that is not the one where we just finished. You're going to choose your next color and create a slip knot. The hook should be through the space, so we're not going into the stitch. We're going into the space that is between the double crochets. We're going to pull the yarn through and do a chain, and that attaches the new color to the previous round. So now we're going to continue by chaining 2. That counts as 1 double crochet. And now we're going to do a second double crochet into that same space. And then we're going to move on to the next space. So we're not going into the top. We're not going into the stitch. We're going into the space in between the stitches. So 2 double crochets in between the stitches. And then we're going to continue that all the way around. So you can see right there, that's the space in between. 2 double crochets. So once you've made your way all the way around, we're going to do a slip stitch into the top of the chain to close off that round. So go in the top of the chain and pull through to do a slip stitch, then pull the yarn through and cut. I realized that maybe I wasn't super clear about the space that we were working into. It's the space in between the stitches. So the next round, we're going to add a new color by creating a slip knot, putting the hook through the space, attaching the slip knot on the other side. Then we're going to pull through and do a chain to attach the new color. So now we're going to chain 2 to go up, and we're going to do a cluster stitch. This one is a little bit different because we have to do the chain 2, but we're going to chain 2 to go up and then start a double crochet, pull through 2, and then we're going to stop, and then we're going to start another double crochet. So wrap it around and go through, and then pull through 2, and then we're going to wrap it around and go through all of the stitches, and then wrap it around and pull through and stop. Now we're going to move on to the next space, and this one's going to be different because it doesn't have the chain. So we're working into that space. So wrap it around, go through, grab the yarn, wrap it around, pull through 2, stop, wrap it around, go through, grab the yarn, wrap it around, pull through 2, stop, wrap it around, go through, grab the yarn, wrap it around, pull through 2, stop, and now you're going to wrap it around and pull through all of the stitches and then do a chain at the end. We're going to continue doing cluster stitches in the space all the way around. And remember, when you attach a new color, don't attach it where the previous round ended. Everything will hold together much better if you choose a different space to start. So we're doing another cluster stitch, pull through, and then chain at the end. And continue doing this stitch in all of the spaces around. So the spaces are the space in between the 2 double crochets from the round before. Okay, so you'll notice that your work might be starting to bend, like to arc and form a circle. That's fine, that's what it's supposed to do. So you're going to finish that last cluster, and then you're going to do a slip stitch into the top of the chain from when you started this round. So find that chain and do a slip stitch into the top. Then you're going to pull through and cut the yarn. Now you're going to add your next color, so choose a space in between the clusters and do a slip knot with your new color. You can do a different color for every round. You can alternate colors. You can do whatever you want. So attach the slip knot on the other side, pull it through and do a chain. Chain 2. And that chain 2 is going to count as your first double crochet. So you're going to do 2 more double crochets into that space. Now for every space in this round, you're going to do 3 double crochets. So we're going to finish up that last group of double crochets. You can see it's starting to bend now. And we're going to do a slip stitch into the top of that chain that we made at the beginning of that round. So slip stitch, and now we're going to pull the yarn through and cut. So now we're going to attach a new color. So put a slip knot in the new color, attach it to the hook. The hook should already be through the space. So put it through the space from the previous round, attach the color, pull it through, and then do a chain to attach. Now we're going to chain 2 and then put 2 double crochets in that same space. And now we're going to put 3 double crochets in each of the spaces going around. So 3 double crochets in each space. Now we're going to do a slip stitch into the top of the chain to join the round. And you can see that it's really starting to curve and form the shape of a ball. Pull the yarn through and cut. So we're ready to add another color. Remember to choose a space that is not the space with the tail or the end that we finished with from the previous round. You want to start in a new space. So attach the new color, pull it through, do a chain, and then we're going to chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in that space. And then we're going to do 3 double crochets in each space again, just like the previous round. So 3 double crochets in each space. When you're working into the space that was the end of the final round, it might look a little bit loose, but you can just take that end, the piece of yarn that we pulled through, and tighten it just to tighten that up, and then your next stitches are going to hold everything together. So then just continue with your 3 double crochets in each space. So we have completed 6 rounds, and it looks really nice. So the last thing we are going to do is we're going to work in the actual stitches instead of in the spaces in between. We're no longer going in those spaces. We're going into the actual stitches, and we're just going to do 1 round of single crochets. So attach your next color with a slip knot, pull it through and do a chain to attach. And then in that same stitch, we are going to do a single crochet. So starting in the stitch that we attached to, and then in each stitch as you go around. So remember, you're working into the tops of this actual stitches. We're no longer going into the spaces in between, and we're just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch. So once you've single crocheted 1 in each stitch all of the way around, you're going to do a slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made. So now we've completed 1/2 of our ball, and now you should go back to the beginning of the video and make a second one. So I've finished my second one, I'm going to slip stitch into the chain, and then I'm going to pull through a long piece of yarn at the end because I want to use that piece of yarn to sew them both together. So now you're going to weave in the ends and weave all of the ends in except for that long piece that you just pulled through. We're going to use that to sew them both together. So thread the end of that long piece that's still attached to the work that you made, and then try to match up the stitches. And it's a little bit tricky in the beginning, so you're just going to go through on the side that isn't attached to attach the two, and then just stitch the single crochets together. So go in one side and through, attaching 2 stitches, and then you're going to go back the other way and attach the next 2 stitches, and you're just going to go back and forth like that, attaching the stitches on either side until you have sewn together half of the ball. So once you've sewn half of the ornament together, do not detach the string. Just put the ornament inside. You can buy these ornaments at Michael's. It's just a plastic ornament. They're all different sizes. Then push the top of the ornament over to the edge that's already sewn together, and then just start stitching again the same way you were before around the ornament. So once you get to the end, you're going to pull it tight Then you're going to finish off by tying a little knot. So I like to go through, leave a little loop, and then thread the yarn through that to make a knot, and then just weave the yarn in to the same color. So just kind of put it through a few times and then cut it. And it's done. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments.